Hi, this is Callan Bentley. Welcome back for another Smart Figure. After watching this video, you should be able to describe the main points behind the Nebular Theory for the origin of the Earth, the Sun, and the whole darn solar system. So the Nebular Theory is basically an explanation for where our solar system came from, and it's based on observations of other bodies elsewhere in the universe. But the idea is that a large cloud of space, dust, and gas condensed into our solar system. So this cloud of dust and gas condensed initially because the little particles were attracted to one another. Gravity pulled the matter together into a denser sort of disk, and that disk compacted into less and less volume. Some of the matter in the middle of that spinning disk actually got so closely packed together that the individual atoms began to merge. And that's thermonuclear fusion, and that's the birth of our sun. So the sun is where most of the matter in the solar system is concentrated, but there is some matter that's distributed in a broad ring surrounding the sun. That ring became clumpier and clumpier over time, where material, again, sort of collided, little particles collided, and material became more and more concentrated in a lesser and lesser number of larger and larger objects. And that process, something like 4.5, 4.6 billion years later, has resulted in a star that's surrounded by 8 classical planets and a bunch of smaller objects, including the asteroid belt, comets, dwarf planets, and so on. So that's the basic idea behind the Nebular Theory. It's basically an explanation for where the solar system came from. This is an image of Jupiter in 1994, and that big red dot that you see in the middle there is a spot where a comet, Comet Shoemaker-Levy 9, collided with Jupiter. How is this event representative of the ideas behind the Nebular Theory? If you answered that this is basically one more event in that sequence of concentrating the matter of the initial nebula into a smaller and smaller number of larger and larger objects, then you're right. Basically, this took, a little comet that was out there in the solar system and merged the mass of that comet with the mass of Jupiter. So on the day this impact occurred, the solar system lost one more object and Jupiter got a little bit bigger. Collisions like this happen all the time, but they happen far less frequently in the modern day than they did early on in the history of the solar system. Thank you for your attention. This has been another Smart Figure.